Well, because I'm really bad at intros, we'll just start with a quote. A quote I love, but I do not abide to. Because I'd rather keep my mouth closed and let people think I'm a fool than open my mouth and remove all doubt. Mark Twain, I believe. Love that quote. Too bad I opened my mouth way too much. We have show notes, in case you wonder what this is. Lots of notes on the show today. But what we're going over today, Adult League. Everyone talking about it. People want to know about it. I'm going to share it with you. Had 46 last game. Talk about this last game. Well, 2 games ago. This last game, I'll share the highlights of that one. Then a little bit of a one-on-one matchup. This one's a lot more exciting because this is where we put money on the line to see if someone can beat me one-on-one. Lost twice so far. I'm not going to tell you the result of this one, but I'm not going to show you all the previous ones. I lost previously to guys playing in Slovakia, Will Carius, and John Luke, who is a top-level scorer. You, me, we like basketball. These guys, they play college 4 years. They can really go and get buckets. John Luke, 4-year bucket getter, got me. Would like a rematch on that one. Then we'll do a little bit of a sports science topic. We'll talk about a little bit about off-season training. I'm entering the off-season with, as you guys probably follow along, Kate Martin. And so I just want to share a little bit about the thought process of working with someone who has kind of like 2 seasons because they play the WNBA and they go into Unrivaled, and what that looks like as a strength coach and the skill side of things, because it's a little bit different than if you're working with someone who just has a really large off-season. Then we have questions from people like you, that is the audience. So let's get right into it, the stuff we care about. Those are the segments. You want to skip ahead, you want to bounce around, go ahead and do that. This is a wonderful show brought to you by me, famous from the newspaper. Keep him right here in case you guys question it. Iowa's most famous dad. I'm not sure if I still qualify for that title. I got that. Someone did an article on me. Actually, fun fact, fun little story. Des Moines Register did an article on me, how I was Iowa's most famous dad. It was basically talk about how I train my athletes and the kind of fun stuff we do. But there's some cool pictures of me playing basketball. There's me and Liam training my athletes, and how social media. You can read there. How social media basketball made Max Schmar-Show Iowa's most famous dad. There you go. You have it. It's in the paper. It's a fact. Deal with it. Adult League. I don't like to just work out. I like to have something to try and work out towards. I love the idea of my competitive tournaments, the cash money ones. But an Adult League is just fine. We play on Sundays. You know what it is. Sometimes it's like not the most intense. Sometimes it is kind of intense. But the reality is I'm just not into being the best at exercising. I want to train for something. An adult basketball league gives me something to do. Now, a little friendly tip before we dive into the highlights. You, me, everyone out there, look, sometimes we love basketball, but it's not very fun to play basketball. In large part, it's due to the fact you're playing against yourself too often. What I mean by that is I have a game tonight. It is Sunday. That's why I try and do these episodes. Am I horribly excited to go play basketball at 6 p.m.? No, but I'm grateful for it. I'm thankful for it, and it's something I get to do. And so I don't get to play basketball forever. Find the joy in it, in the sports you like, and try and get better at it. Like, as silly as that sounds, as we get older, we do so many things that are routine that we don't actually progress in. And we leave behind the sports that we really enjoyed, like basketball, and what other sports you like growing up. And so trying to hang on to those as long as you can and mastering your craft. There's something pure about that, something fun about that. And I encourage anyone out there, whatever your sport is, to try and be the best at it. Not because you're going to become a professional basketball player. No. Just because it's good to try and push yourself at something. So I look off to the side here because I have my notes here and I kind of laugh at myself. Adult League. Yeah, we're going to roll the clips and see what went down there. Let's check it out. So first things first, we have like 6 people. And the rule of this game is for anyone on our team, if you want to shoot a shot, go ahead and shoot it, dude. There's 3 12-minute quarters. So that's 36 minutes. And then we have like a 4th quarter, which is a target score. So there's plenty of shots for everybody. And just to show you like the intensity of this, it's not like the world's most intense version of basketball. It's fun to get up and down the court. Playing that much basketball is pretty good for your conditioning. But the reality is you can kind of, I don't want to say it like this, but if you were to play super intense, you can probably get any shot that you would like. So instead of doing that, when it's not necessarily, well, necessary, it's nice to work on some things. I was trying to work on some mid-range stuff, and I really want to work on like bumping people off into a shot. So you saw that on my missed little post-up. You saw that on my fadeaway. You'll witness it on a couple of missed threes. I really like the idea of like shouldering someone and then squaring them back up. I didn't do it like I have practiced before here, but I tried. It is what it is, man. Still had some buckets. First quarter had like 5 points because I was trying to do, I don't know, dumb things. I should have shoot a bunch of threes. And then the second quarter, I kind of got a little toasty. Had a three-pointer, had a layup. I don't know if I had like 19 this quarter or something. Ended up with 33 points in all. Not like the most amazing game ever, but, you know, just basketball. It's fun. As a content creator, which I call myself to an extent, foul, by the way, foul. 1 free throw for 3 points. Everyone kind of knows who I am, which makes it, I guess, fun. I'm a pretty nice person. Someone was talking mess after this game about how they fried us. Whatever, I guess. We should have won this game. You can see right there, it's 47-51. We basically end the halftime essentially tied or close enough to being tied. They changed the rules on us in the fourth quarter, and we kind of screwed up how we should have played it. But, oh, well, again, it's an adult league. It's not like, you know, the NBA finals here or anything that crazy. But you do want to play well. That's one of the things I struggle with is as a former basketball player, you kind of play against the old version of yourself or what you know you can do. And so at times you're kind of taking dumb shots. You're like, oh, should I have shot that shot? At times you miss shots you think you should have made, and you're like, I should have made that. But all in all, it's just basketball. So a little left-hand lay, a little snatch back. I need to make that shot. I like that shot a lot. I made one for the midi just a second ago. This is probably the most smoked layup possible. Whatever. Life goes on. People can hate, man. They can watch and be like, you're so bad at basketball. But honestly, I show all my shots and my makes and my misses, and you can judge them for yourself. I'm not really here to hide anything. If you're going to come play, you can come play. Totally up to you. That's how it works. I'm not afraid to show my misses because I'm sure not afraid to show my makes. Still had 33. Life goes on. Take the loss, Max. That's just part of basketball. Yep. We lost. It's okay. It's basketball. It's fun. You still had 33 points. But I learned a lot from playing these leagues. And one of the things you can take away, like, you go into these games as like a thinker and an observer. And this actually ties into some of our sports science talk. I'll do it after the one-on-one segment. But I play one-on-one and I play in an adult league, and they're very different physically. And one of the things I take away from the adult league is just how important conditioning is and how important it is to keep playing basketball if you want to stay in shape for basketball. And for someone like myself who loves basketball, and when I train people, I get to stay in shape. But for a little bit of time here, about a month and a half, people have been out of town. And I just haven't been going up and down the court. And it is a friendly reminder that when you're not going up and down the court, it really wears and tears on you to get back on there. I feel like I miss a lot of shots because I'm out of shape and whatnot, or not in as shape as I'd like to be. Just shots rolling in and out that otherwise would go in. I'd like to have 50 if I could. Whatever, man. It is what it is, but you could take away something from it, right? So easy. You go and play these games, you get upset, you get frustrated, or you have fun and you think too much about it. It's enjoyable, right? You can go and learn from it. And so over the next couple of months, I'm going to challenge myself to get in better shape. Doing something called the basketball mile, where I try and cover the ground of basically a total of, I like to get to 2.5 miles. Down is 90, basically 100 feet. Playing a high school court, that's 84 feet. If you do any sort of zigzagging, you're going to reach 100. 52 up in that 1, 2, 3, 4. 52 of those full lengths is 5,200 feet. Was it 5,260 feet is a mile? I think that's right. So that 52 down. I do 52 down and backs. So down and back, right? 2 touches, 1, 2, 3. That's basically 2 miles, and that's, I don't know, 104 shots. So you do get some shots up. I've been doing that a little bit to get in shape for myself. I hope that carries over to the court. So, but that's different than one-on-one. The one-on-one stuff is kind of serious. And this is some stuff I would like to pursue a little bit more. I play people locally who want to play me. Kalen came out. Dude's a freak athlete, good hooper. One-on-one is a sport in of itself. It's very different than basketball. There's about how to real-time a chess match, right? Trying to figure out how that person's playing, how you play, where are your advantages on the court, what counters can you get to. And then when you figure those out, you can kind of piece them together in a way that helps you play your game and gives you the best chance to win. Because playing one-on-one, it's not always about trying to dominate someone, because you're playing at 33. We play 2s and 3s, and we play like 11. per spot. So like if it's 9 to 11, you have 11, I have 9, you win that spot. We don't count wins, right? It's 9 to 11, we move spots because 11 is scored. Now let's say I score 11 and you score 9. It'd be 20 to 20, so it's tied. Move to the next spot. That way you don't lose your points, because technically you can lose 2 spots, like 11 to 9, 11 to 9, and beat someone 11-0 in another spot, and you lost, right, 2 games to 1, and then you had more points. So is that really losing? So no, we played at 33 when we do our games. It makes it pretty intense and pretty fun. It's not like pure basketball. You learn some bad habits, like some shooting habits, some dribble habits. We play 4 dribbles. But it's fun. It's really competitive, and I really enjoy it. I know there's a space in that right now on social media, so I'm going to share some of that here with you all here. I'll let the clips roll. Let's go check it out. So these one-on-ones, I take a little bit more serious than my adult league basketball, because I don't want to lose these, and people are going to talk to me all day long if I lose these. Kalen decided to come out and play. He's a good hooper, man. Between the legs, windmills, 2-hand, 2-foot, hop-step dunks. Dude is a freak athlete. And, ooh, don't jump, Max. Started the game off with a nice drive right bump. I'm going to show you every possession here. Ooh, tough fadeaway. DeMar DeRozan like pull-ups, man. He's just really good. He like leans in with his left shoulder right there, and then he gets to his space. What I got to do is I got to time that up. I realized that when he gets to that right hand, he gets like an extended right hand kind of lean. And if I can just make him shoot middies, it's going to be tough to score 33 points just shooting middies. But the start, I was like, maybe he's going to, man. 6-0, Kalen off the bat. And then right here, I start to sit on that, right? So if you can go to the hoop, I'm waiting for it. I can wall up pretty well. I can handle some physicality. But then I kind of sit on that mid-range because that's what he was settling for. If he gets into those escape dribbles, like running out to the three-point line, I got to press up a little bit earlier on that. But that's just the whole idea of this, kind of chess match of one-on-one. Now for me, I get in a bad habit sometimes of shooting too many 2-pointers. I'm going to shoot a jump shot, especially in one-on-one. It might as well just be a 3-pointer. There's no real reason, unless I'm like 12 feet from the hoop, to shoot a midi. If you're shooting like a 17-foot mid-range shot, especially the way I shoot it, because I think sometimes I actually shoot a 3-pointer better than a mid-range shot, it's just not worth it. Because when you're playing one-on-one, if you can rattle off a couple of 3-pointers in a row, it can really give you a lead. So I have 11 here to 6, got him a little shimmy step, and now 6 to 13, it's going to give me a chance to kind of get to my, quote-unquote bag. So bucket right there, I knew I could get a 2, I was going to put a lot of pressure on him, and then I could start putting up 3s and see if I can get hot, and that's exactly what happened, right? So 18, step back another one, back iron. That's kind of how my shot has been lately. And for him, it's like, okay, no threes. Gosh darn it, that mid-range is tough. Live with the middies, and that's what he started to get to, right? Those like 8-foot middies. I just got to push him out. I can't let him get that deep into the paint. So that's a little bit better. I walled up early, and I knew he was trying to get to the rack. I was there to kind of brace against it. And so me, again, get back to the 3-point line, because I showed I can get to the hoop. So I have a little pressure there. I use that 2-point shot, the drive, to set up my 3-pointer. In the same way, I use my 3-pointer to set up the drive. If I just get stuck doing one or the other, and that's how I've lost 2 of these before, is I kind of get stuck shooting either too many 3s and just trying to, maybe I get hot early, I try to just put it away, or I shoot way too many 2-pointers because I keep trying to control the pace. The reality is, if you do have the advantage, sure, a 2-pointer can be fine to control the pace, but it is tiring. If you get too tired, it makes the 3-point shot a little tougher. Instead, that's a nasty little move right there, by the way. Watch that footwork. Ooh, that was tough. Instead, if I can get hot with 3-point line and then ride that out, which you're going to see right here, it's a great way to win. So this is, you kind of get a lead, and then I've been on the other end of this defensively, and you're kind of just, okay, maybe I press off, maybe I press up. Because you don't want to give a bunch of 2s right now because it's 26. You're almost kind of living with 3-pointers mentally if you're the defender. And if I see him start to give that, then for me, you can't just shoot it lazily. You got to shoot it like you actually created space, like you actually want to shoot it. Because sometimes when the shot is too easy, it throws off your rhythm and timing. That was good defense by him, by the way. So now I'm at 32. I've gone left a couple of times. I'm thinking, okay, I can just finish this off. Let's get to something where I've gone left. Maybe I can get him in the air. At this point, you have the game won, right? It's 10 to 22. But you don't want to be stupid because, again, you can lose these. And so don't ease up. Get to a spot. Get to the moves that work. Get to a little counter, bump, lean, fade away, ball game. Good game, though. He played well. So, yes, another win. Not a bad shooting performance, by the way. I think I shot like 65% in all. What was that 5 for 5 from 2 and 8 for 15 from 3, something like that? I'll win you some games if you do that. But again, about playing angles, making sure, like one of the biggest things, man, you can't give up a bunch of 3-pointers. All right, if someone's going to make a bunch of 2-pointers and they just make them at a really high clip, you lose. That's just whatever. That happens. It's also making sure they don't get to their spots. Like if they have certain shots they like, don't allow them to get to that. That's kind of the strategy of it. Try and figure out the player you're playing against as fast as you can without letting them get on a run and get in a rhythm that's going to destroy you. That's where the one-on-one game, the strategy's fun, because it's like, it's nothing to do with my teammates, right? I can take any bad shot I want. The onus is all on me. And there's something freeing about that, because basketball, you always have the back of your mind, oh, my teammates didn't pass me the ball, and this or that, they didn't do that. No, this is about you stopping the person in front of you. And certain matchups are better for you or for them. And I just really find it an interesting form of basketball. It's not like basketball in the traditional sense. I really wouldn't call it even relatable to 5-on-5. I played guys who are very good in 5-on-5 who don't do much 1-on-1, and the opposite as well. So kind of an interesting little thing I enjoy. I keep doing it and putting it out there in the challenges. It's fun to put on social. But I hope you guys like it, because I try and do stuff, man. I try not to just do sports science, because I'm going to share with you some sports science here in a second. I love sports science. I train people. I do all of that. I want to do more than that. I don't want to be a weight room hero. I want to go do something with what I train to physically do. So I just want to talk about the sports. We'll segue right into that, because when we talk about like building carryover to your sport, I mentioned that about Kate and her off season. You have to really consider sporting demands. And I know it sounds so silly, but often we just look at sporting demands from the weight room. Do they need to jump high? Do they need to be fast? Do they need to be blah, blah, blah? Right? Most every sport comes down to being explosive, fast, and athletic to an extent, right? But kind of, or the capacity that basketball players have to have in terms of physical conditioning, like the aerobic base, is so high. I think the average basketball player travels in a game 3 to 4 miles. That's quite a bit. 3 to 4 miles. And it's not just like 3 to 4 miles, but by mile 4, they have to be able to play like they were in the first mile. So you probably got to run you have the capacity, right? 6 to 7 miles. And you're running sprints, you're changing directions, you're going up and down, you're shooting the basketball. Hugely demanding, hugely demanding. And so when it comes to our conditioning, you don't want to get behind on it, because there's such a large buildup to get into it. So even if you're taking a break, because you're transitioning from end of season to your next season, you don't want that period to be a period where you take 4 steps back or 3 steps back, especially when the windows are short. If you have like a 6-month off season, sure, you can kind of get away with it because your runway is long enough. But if you want to build on your physical capacity, you have to be able to maintain your physical capacity in a way that allows you to then, if you get faster, you get stronger, you get more athletic, your physical shape, your conditioning allows you to express it. The way you can think about this is like, if you have a really, really wide pyramid base, right? The height of a pyramid is only as wide as its base. I think that's correct, right? And so if I want a really high pyramid, high outputs, I need to have lots of physical capacity to support my ability to perform those outputs. It's very different than being a sprinter, right? A sprinter, maybe you're going to go run and sprint, but you don't have the capacity to run a mile. I need to be able to be fast, athletic, and express myself physically at those high ends throughout the 4-mile interval. Just think about that for a second. And that's why the basketball conditioning stuff is pretty crazy to me. I've taken it for granted a little bit, because as a player, you play, and as long as you're playing, you stay in somewhat shape. But as a coach, it's easy to assume like, oh, the lifting, the running, the skills is going to be enough conditioning, but it's totally not. It's really not. When you do the mileage on it, you can get a lot of accelerations and decelerations in traditional skill training, like a lot of stop and goes. I think Paul Fabrett's PJF Performance had a post about this, and I actually messaged him about it. Prior to the post, was like, some of the skills training nowadays is just so intense. It's just so difficult in terms of accelerations and decelerations, but cardiovascularly, and especially the up and down, like anytime we're going through gait cycles, upright running and stuff, it's really, really not the same. It's not the same as that of a game. And so we try and work in this physical capacity to maintain it at a certain level, and then build our other strengths on top of that. We don't want to get strong, athletic, and all this stuff, and then try and fit our conditioning with that. We want to be conditioned so we can express our abilities. If you just work from the top down, you're kind of chasing the conditioning aspect. At the end of the day, the conditioning aspect, if you're not able to play your sport physically, you can't play your sport. It doesn't matter how fast and athletic you are. That's really important for a lot of players to understand. A couple questions from the audience here, by the way. Let's go ahead. I have them written on the whiteboard. Am I good at golf? I went golfing the other day. People probably saw it. And I talk about how it's important to get away from the game when you can. We went and played golf. Am I good at? I'm horrible at golf. Golf is a beautiful example of how, like, your ability to produce force is contextual. So if you think about, like, strength, let's talk about the idea of being strong. You say, oh, who's strong? Like, can you lift a lot of weight? Cool, but on the golf course, the strongest person in terms of force hit onto a ball will drive the ball furthest, assuming, you know, we are all have equal swings. So, like, the old guy who is physically, like, if you just have him bench press or squat or any other traditional physical parameter weaker than me, they actually express more force on the golf course because they drive it further than me. Whether you could say, oh, they're not actually stronger than you. Well, strength is an expression. Strength is not a quality that's, you know, translatable across everything. So, like, the old person who can hit their driver further than me because I'm just so inefficient mechanically is stronger than me on the golf course. This is a fact. And I think it's kind of interesting to look at it that way from a sports science standpoint. So strength, while the foundations or the limit of your strength is found in the physiological potential of your muscles, the expression of strength is a combination of the physical abilities and the actual skill to express it. Am I good at golf? No, I'm horrible at golf. I kind of like it, though. I enjoyed it. I had a par, a couple of pars, and a couple of other good chips, putts. I wasn't very good at putting. My drives are horrible. Good at golf, not very good. Another one last one I wanted to do is that people ask me what I watch shows, and I'll put the link, the picture over here. I've watched this lady who does a day, you know, in a life day with somebody for Craigslist. So basically, she follows someone around that she meets on Craigslist for a day and interviews them and learns about them and their interests. And I watched one episode and I absolutely loved it. It really, when you go on social media, it kind of smooths out the humanities, right? So, like, you only see things on average people like. You don't see the crinkles, the ruffles. You don't see the edges of life. What I mean by that is, like, if you go on social media, you're going to see things that many people viewed. But that's not always the interesting stuff. That's the stuff that, on average, many people like to enjoy. I enjoy the things that a lot of people don't enjoy, right? That's kind of that's human. That's the beautiful aspect of human. It's like the things that you have an interest that certain people like, and I have an interest that certain people like, and they don't overlap at all. So when she does these videos, and she does it in a very candid way, you get to see people be people, and the quirks, the interests. And for me, as someone who enjoys many different things, I really enjoy seeing that aspect because it widens your horizon into what's out there. When you're on social media, you only see the things they want you to see. Like the algorithm, what people commonly like. And you see common hairstyles, common ways people dress, common whatever. You don't see the stuff that not many people enjoy in terms of, like, the millions of people, but a lot of people do enjoy. So, like, if you think about it, it smooths out the edges of the circle. And when you go on social media, it's a nice smooth sphere. But this video is really nice because humans aren't smooth. We have our edges, we have our quirks, we have our own personal interests. And that's what this video wonderfully did. And I'll put the video, should have the link, should be up here by now. Kind of doing my own little show deal. Show deal, like a green screen, thank you, gosh. It's my first one. We're going to figure it out as we go along. But I loved it. So go check the video out. It's pretty cool. I enjoyed it. I hope to bring some of that to this page here too, where it is a human aspect, where I'm sharing my adult league basketball games, my one-on-one. And I do care about this stuff. I care about my sports science and let you guys know about me as I go out my week, because some of the stuff I go through, I think you guys can relate to and connect with. And I can talk to you about it all here and share it in one kind of weekly recap. That makes it a show, makes it enjoyable, makes you be a part of it. I love for, like when I put on the basketball tournament, I hope people who I don't get to normally interact with on social media, I get to interact with there. I bring something to the table that allow people be people, man. And we miss a lot of that sometimes. And so that's why I have this show, and why I'm starting it up, and why I think you might like it. I'm going to give it a go for a while, and your guys' support means a ton. So I appreciate you guys, and thank you. And that's a show for the day. Let's go. Thank you all.